Hi, this is another class, the series of classes to understand sentence. As the series is titled Foundation of Sentence, you need to understand the construction of sentences, and as the title says here, the sentence word order, and you need to be very clear in keeping the words in a proper order. When the words are, jumbled kind of thing, you will not get the meaning properly. For example, there are so many sentences which jumble and they give in a very different way. I ate an apple every day. That is a normal sentence. Only I ate an apple every day. I ate an apple only every day. So whenever you use the word only at different places, the meaning of that particular sentence clearly changes. Okay? Only I only I ate an apple, something like that. So don't get confused, but here the sentence word order matters a lot. And in this class, in SLPLE5 class, as a part of the series of foundation sentence, you will understand the sentence word order, that is the art of arranging words for clear communication. So whatever that we learn and whatever that we have been learning these classes, you have to understand the word order and all these things, whether grammar, word order, tenses, this or that, all these things are only meant for understanding our language and our communication, for a clear communication. When you communicate clearly, only then you will be heard, you will be understood, and you will get a proper reply. That is, the chain of communication. So when you take sentence word order, the foundation of effective English communication, words have power, but their order gives them meaning. That is quite naturally. All words have got a lot of power, but when you arrange them properly, only then they give you perfect meaning. Otherwise, lot of confusion will be there. So let us go to the most important slide to understand the question, does word order matter? And as I give you introduction, word order does matter. Consider these sentences. The dog chased the cat, and another sentence, the cat chased the dog. So in these two sentences, the dog subject, the cat subject, but grammatically these two may be right. Subject, verb, object, the cat subject, chased, verb, the dog object. But it is not the grammatical order, but it is how the word should be arranged. As you know pretty well, the dog chased the cat is grammatically correct and at the same time meaningfully also correct. And when a sentence is both grammatically correct and meaningfully correct, we call it meaningfully correct is called semantically correct, because semantics is very, very important for a particular sentence. The cat chased the dog. It is unbelievable. The cat doesn't chase the dog. And something like the rat chased the cat. How does it sound? Does it sound meaningful? It doesn't sound meaningful. So in the same way, these two sentences do give us a clear idea that word order definitely matters. Not only from the point of view of grammar, sometimes even from the point of view of meaning also, word order matters. Although the same words are used, the meaning changes completely and dramatically. And that's the reason, just think about it. English relies heavily on word order. Do you deny it? You just cannot deny it. And changing the word order can change the meaning, not normally, but completely. And correct word order makes communication clear and effective. So in this slide, we can take the key idea that words are the building blocks. Word order is the blueprint of a sentence. And in the subsequent slides, you will understand how word order does matter, how word order will increase or enhance the meaning of a sentence, and what are the rules that are there to understand the word order so that we can go properly. And in this slide, you are going to talk about what is sentence word order. Sentence, we already talked about it. Do you remember in SLPL E1 and SLPL E2, we were talking about sentence, kinds of sentences, etc. and also the importance of subject and predicate and verb. And now let us take this sentence concept from a different perspective, that is understanding the word order. The definition is Sentence word order refers to the arrangement of words in a sentence according to the grammatical rules of language. There are so many grammatical rules, and don't worry, don't jump into conclusion, don't jump into grammar now, because I'm going to talk about grammar in another series, because this series is only talking about sentence, subject predicate, and sentence word order. So we will talk about grammatical rules very soon. And in English, words usually follow a specific pattern that helps readers and listeners understand the intended meaning. So intentions are different and words do have a different order, then I think you don't communicate properly. To communicate properly, what you require is a good sentence word order. Look at this example, because we are more and more attached to any particular rule only when you take an example. For example, the student answered the question. Okay, the student, subject, answered, verb, the question, object. So that is the simple construction called SVO, subject, verb, object. And this is usually the word order in a normal sentence. Answer the question, the student. Even this also gives me some sense, doesn't it? It does give some sense. Even though the words are jumbled, even though the words are not in a proper order according to grammar, but still I can sense the meaning. Answer the question, the student. Even if you're giving like that, I think I can say, oh, the student answered the question. But the word order is very, very important. What is the subject in this one? The student answered the question. So word order makes some grammatical sense and also semantical sense. One follows English grammar and the other doesn't follow properly. So grammar rules are very, very important to make the word order proper, because how to make the word order proper? Only by understanding the rules of grammar. In this, grammatical rules are there. That is subject, verb, the object. And here, answer the question, the student. So next, let us understand another concept in this concept, the basic structure of English. Every language has its own structural pattern in writing a sentence. The toughest language usually is considered to be Mandarin, that is used by Chinese. Of course, we can also call it a Chinese language, and that is also one of the reasons why all the people do not learn Chinese, not because Chinese is not learned by everybody, but by Chinese language is the toughest one because it is called a Mandarin language. So the basic structure of English is, as I have given you a short while ago, subject, verb, object. That is SVO. Of course, in some sentence we have only subject and verb, ego, subject and verb, and the formula is subject, verb, and object. The golden rule is who, subject, does what, verb, to whom or to what, that is object. So subject, verb, object. Ria reads novels, the teacher explains concepts, students complete assignments, and here also the golden rule is who, does what, to whom, or to what. So this is the golden rule, and SVO concept is very, very important. The simplest concept of like that, we have got so many structures: subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object 1, object 2, subject, verb, object, and object complement. So we can go on taking like that so many constructions. And as a student, if at all you are able to write every sentence properly and understand the construction of the words in a sentence, I think you would be able to write all the sentences properly and correctly and meaningfully, and effectively also, because our efforts all the time usually lead to effective writing communication and effective spoken communication. And another important concept of this, is expanding the sentences. When you expand a sentence, you add more meaning, you add more words, right? And here you will understand the concept of expanding sentences. I will just introduce this topic, and after that I will take another class and I will give you detailedly and clearly the expansion of sentences. But for now, a very simple understanding of expanding sentences is adding more information. For example, the basic sentence is the girl sang. Now expand it. The girl sang beautifully at the function yesterday. How many parts did we add? We added three parts. The girl sang is one normal sentence. And how? What is the manner of singing? Beautifully. What is the place of singing? At the function. When and what is the time of singing? Yesterday. Manner, place, time. And this is how you can increase the number of words and you can expand the sentences. The girl sang. That is a normal sentence. The girl sang beautifully at the function yesterday. And look at this one. What was added? Manner, place, and time. And this is the word order, and this is the importance of understanding the sentence word order. And now I've given you a very simple, just introduction to the sentence word order, and also gave you a clear idea about the sentence expansion. In the next class, we will understand very detailedly about the ways and means of sentence expansion, and also will give you so many other rules of expanding the sentence. Okay, let us wait for the next class for understanding this sentence expansion. Thank you. Bye-bye.